Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to pick a house with good feng shui. The external feng shui environment of a house is very important because it determines the quality of qi that gets flowed into your home. Whether you live in an apartment, a condo, or a house, these feng shui principles apply to all of you. Let's get started. Alright, let's have a look at an example. There are 3 apartment buildings. That's apartment 1, 2, and 3. And there's a curved road right in front of the buildings. And let's say if you're considering to buy or rent a unit in one of these buildings, which one would you choose? Okay, let's see. The one with good feng shui is definitely apartment 3 because it's located within a curved road which acts like a protective belt. It protects the house from harsh external energies and helps to attract prosperity and good fortune into the building. However, the 2 buildings on the opposite side of the curved road are not as positive because the fast-moving energy around the curve can disrupt the peaceful flow outside the buildings. You can think of the curve like a bow and arrow pointing directly at the buildings. This can directly impact the feng shui of the entire building, especially for people living on lower levels. Now we know building C has good feng shui. Which one has the worst feng shui? In countries where cars drive on the right side, the energy from the fast-moving traffic moving swiftly along the curved road will first impact Building 2 because it's the first building to encounter the intense energy from the incoming traffic. Building 1 would also be affected but less intense because there's a building in front of it. However, if you live in a country where cars drive on the left side of the road, Building 1 would be the first to encounter this sharp energy, while Building 2 would be less intense. For building number 3, regardless of whether cars drive on the left or right, it's always considered positive because the curved road is like arms embracing the building and protected from sharp energy attacks. Now, if there's a row of plants in front of the buildings along the curve, they act as natural barriers that absorb some of the negative energy and prevent them from rushing into the buildings. The plants won't eliminate all the sharp energy, but they can certainly reduce its negative impacts. Therefore, having natural plants in front of a curved road can be beneficial. Here's another example. When 2 tall buildings are positioned very close to each other, creating a narrow gap in between, it can generate negative energy that affects the building opposite this narrow gap. In feng shui, this layout is known as heavenly blade. The term heavenly blade originates from the sharp blade-like energy formed by the wind flowing through the narrow gap, exerting downward pressure from above. This layout is believed to potentially lead to health issues for those living or working in the affected building. The narrower the gap, the more intense and sharp the energy becomes. If your building is located very close to this gap, the negative impact will be more significant. If your front door, window, or balcony directly faces a T-junction road, this is also bad feng shui. The fast-moving traffic on the road creates sharp, direct energy, like a pointing arrow, aimed at your building. The sharp energy from the vehicles rushing towards the building can disrupt the harmonious flow of qi and negatively impact the well-being of the occupants. In feng shui, the left-hand side of the building is associated with the green dragon, while the right-hand side is represented by the white tiger. If the green dragon side is directly facing the T-junction, the units on the left-hand side will be affected, potentially leading to financial challenges. If the white tiger side of the building is facing the T-junction road, then people living on the right-hand side would be negatively affected. Therefore, when choosing a house, make sure you avoid T-junction roads. If a house is located at the intersection of 2 roads, it can be subject to what is known as scissors sha, where the intersecting roads create an angle resembling the blades of a pair of scissors. This layout can create sharp, direct energy that impacts the home. When the angle between 2 roads is less than 90 degrees, it can result in intense form of sharp energy, which can be particularly damaging, cutting off the good luck. If a group of apartment buildings is positioned at different angles, the sharp corner of the first building is sending negative energy towards the second building. So the units in the second building that's closest to this sharp corner would be mostly affected. From this angle, we can see that the first building's corner is directly affecting the side of the second building. So the units in the second building that's closest to this sharp corner would be mostly affected. Similarly, the corner of the third building is directly affecting the back of the second building. So the units located at the back of the second building would be affected. If the 3 buildings are positioned parallel to each other, then they don't have any negative effects on each other. Let's say the buildings are positioned this way, where the back corner of the first building is directly pointing towards the front entrance of the second building. This is bad feng shui because the positive energy gets disrupted. Similarly, the back corner of the second building is negatively affecting the front entrance of the third building. Thank you everyone. See you next time.